I'm Marty Cohn, and welcome to episode 14 of Rotary Cares, the monthly award-winning show that tells you everything you want to know about Rotary and more. Rotary is a global network of 1.2 million neighbors, friends, leaders, and problem solvers who come together to make a positive, long-lasting change in communities at home and abroad. Established over 110 years ago, Rotary now has 35,000 clubs all over the world. Rotary's motto is service above self, and it adheres to a four-way test, a test that's been translated in over 100 languages and provides an ethical guideline for your personal as well as professional life. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? In Brattleboro, there are two Rotary clubs. The Brattleboro Rotary Club meets on Thursdays for lunch at the American Legion, and the Brattleboro Sunrise Rotary Club, which meets for breakfast on Wednesdays, also at the American Legion. Our guest today is the Rotary District Assistant Governor, Keith Clark. Welcome, Keith.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much for stepping in here. So let's start just to getting to know you. How long have you been a Rotarian?
I became a Rotarian in 2004.
2004. Okay, that's a few years. And why did you join?
Someone asked me. I really knew nothing about Rotary, and someone came to my office. I'm in the Bellows Falls Club. Interestingly, the parent club to Brattleboro and the grandparent to Sunrise.
Thank you very much.
Just have to take, long before I got here.
Okay, that's a brag.
Came and talked to me, and I said, well, tell me about Rotary. And I was fascinated from the get-go. Liked the whole concept. So I went to a couple of meetings and said, yep, I want to be a Rotarian.
Great.
Yep.
And now you're the assistant district governor. Let's break that down for a minute. What exactly is the district?
So as you were just talking about, there's about 35,000 plus clubs worldwide. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people think that Rotary is this big entity in Illinois. But Rotary really is a local club. So Rotary is based upon that local club. So a club has a president. Well, the clubs belong to a district. So if they need support or they want to work with other clubs, they can do it within that district. So we're in a district, 7870, which has about 60 clubs.
Wow.
So that's southern Vermont, southern New Hampshire. Those districts make up a zone, and the zones make up Rotary International.
Ah, okay.
So when you say you're a Rotarian, you're not a Rotarian of Rotary International, you're a Rotarian of your home club. So I'm an assistant governor. So the district has a governor. And that governor, because he can't be at all 60 clubs, has assistant governors. So I have 5 clubs that I'm his assistant for. So if there's information that he wants to make sure it gets down to the clubs, mm-hmm. It would come through me. Or if those clubs need assistance from the district, then they will reach out to me to contact whoever in the district that can support them. So that's what I do as the assistant governor.
Okay, so in these 5 clubs, do you actually go out and visit the clubs? Do you attend their meetings? I mean, because you have your own club, right? But you do that as well? I
do. At least once a quarter, I go to those other clubs. Mm-hmm. And so my 5 clubs are certainly my home club, Bellows Falls, the 2 Brattleboro clubs, Keene Elm City, and the Deerfield Club over in Dover, Wilmington, in the Deerfield Valley. So I go to those clubs at least once a quarter, sometimes more frequently, depending mm-hmm. on my schedule, and just check in and sit through their meetings and represent the district at them.
But what is it that as you're talking to folks, you have the local clubs doing something, and then you're representing the district. What's the difference between what the local clubs are doing and what district is doing?
So the local clubs, they get to decide what they want to do, what they want to do for fundraisers, whether or not they want to do just local projects to support the community, whether they want to be involved in regional projects, or even international or national or international projects. So when I sit in those meetings, they may be talking about, well, we want to do an international project,
Right.
but they're not sure how to go through that process. So I can say, you know what, the person that we can reach out to is Rick Maganello, who handles the grant process.
I see. Uh-huh.
So the district doesn't set goals for the club. It doesn't say, hey, we have these district projects we want the clubs to be involved in. The district is more just to make sure that the clubs are fully supported, that they have what they need to be successful in their communities or internationally if that's what they desire to do.
So when you say that's what they desire to do, what do you think is the function of Rotary? What should Rotarians be doing?
I love that question because every club is different.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think Rotarians become Rotarians because they want to make things better. And I say when they want to make things better, it may be in their neighborhood, it may be in their hometown, maybe in the state, or maybe that they see that internationally we as Rotarians can make a difference. And every club approaches it differently. So I looked at Rotary as I can make changes in my home community, but at the same time, I may be able to help internationally. So when I look at Rotarians, everybody becomes Rotarian for a different reason, and that's why I love Rotary.
Mm-hmm.
I love sitting at meetings because there are no politics. It fascinates me because it's all about just making the world a better place. And that world may be small, it may just be your local neighborhood, but you're just trying to, you're not doing fundraising simply for the sake of fundraising, you're doing it for a purpose. And Rotarians really prefer just to do the work. They want to be out there hands-on. I love that. It fascinates me.
Yeah, it's really cool. The other thing about it is that there's a bond that we have because I could go anywhere in the world and I wear my pin and it's recognized and I can go to a Rotary meeting in, anywhere.
Right.
And we all share that value. That's a really cool thing.
It is. It's, you're driving somewhere and you see that Rotary emblem on the side of the road you're driving in. You're like, well, if I want, I could just stop in. Or you go to a local store and the store owner's a Rotary. It's like, hey, nice to see you. Where are you from? And then next thing you're talking about what you've been involved in. And sometimes you have a similar interest in similar projects. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it's a common value. Well,
very much so.
All right, listen. Let's take a quick break for a message from Rotary International. We'll be right back.
Possibilities are all around us. Everywhere we look, we see opportunity. We see potential in unexpected places. And when we share our knowledge, vision, and connections, we turn great ideas into action. In communities all around the world that we call home. Like transforming an old bus to feed hungry children, or providing life-saving equipment to those who need it most. From fighting disease to rebuilding schools, together we can make real change happen. We're Rotary. We are people of action. Get involved today at Rotary.org.
Welcome back to Rotary Cares, a monthly award-winning show that tells you everything you want to know about Rotary and more. Our guest today is Assistant District Governor Keith Clark. Keith, so what do you see as your goals as Assistant District Governor?
So I don't really set goals, but
Okay.
The way I looked at this is how can I make sure that what the district governor is hoping to accomplish in this year is relayed to the clubs, and then also what the clubs need for support is coming from the district. To really make sure that I'm available to those clubs. that if they have a question or need support, that they can reach me. So when I met with all the presidents as they started their years, like, if you have any question, or you have any, reach out to me. Don't think that you're in this alone. And that's, so that, if the answer, that was my goal, to make sure that I was fully available and support them as much as I possibly could.
Great. All right. So as you've traveled around now to the 5 clubs, what do you see, or what are some of the successes that you've seen in the 5 clubs?
Well, so for example, I was recently at the Keene Club, the morning, and just some of their projects, particularly around kids, they do a lot of. It's not like one thing once a year. They really are involved, particularly around children's physical health. Make sure children are active.
Right.
So that they do the DeMar Marathon. But they also have a component of that where it's getting the children to run like the last mile, and they work up to it. And that it's really neat to watch, because it is something the club gets excited about, to talk about, and it's very infectious. And to know that they're doing it to make sure kids are healthy and successful is really, so that one sticks out as we're talking.
Well, that's pretty cool. Now, looking at, so you've been a Rotarian for 15 years, and now you've got this newfold, this role. What do you see as some of the challenges for Rotary?
I think right now the challenge I see is the membership issue. There's, for some reason, I think there's still this misconception that Rotary are these business owners sitting in some smoky office somewhere once a week. And Rotary's more than that. Rotary is all ages, all backgrounds. It's very diverse, and so I think it's bringing people in and helping them explore their passions about how do they want to change the world, because that is what Rotary does. It changes the world.
But do you see? I agree with you. I think membership is key, but I think it's not just Rotary that has a problem with membership. I mean, I think people joining any organization.
Trust me, in this job, I'm having a hard time getting people to apply.
Right. But I think, what do you think we need to do? You mentioned this club in Keene. It would seem to me, they're working on a theme, helping kids. People know that they're doing that. It's how do we get more people to know the good works of Rotary? That's a challenge.
Doing what you're doing with this show gets the word out. We do a terrible job. I think it's the Rotarian way. We quietly do the work, and we're not very good about saying, look what we did, because it's just not what we do. It's we want to do it, and knowing that we did it is sort of our reward. We're not asking for the pat on the back, and we do a terrible job selling ourselves. And it is something that we know we need to work on, but we're just not good at it because it's not what we want to do. I didn't become a Rotarian to say, look at all the wonderful things I'm doing. I did because I know I was helping others.
So I wonder if one of the models is you going out and you looking at your friends or your neighbors and spotting someone that could be a potential Rotarian and selling Rotary one-to-one as opposed to mass marketing might be something that we have to shift on.
I think it is the one-on-one that really sells it, because if I just met you and you asked me, I'd say, I can change the world. And what is your interest? Well, I have an interest in making sure kids in a country are well fed or have good health care. Hey, let's work together and we can do that. We can leverage 1.2 million Rotarians and who they're connected with, and we can do this. As you're well aware, and I'm sure you've talked about on the show, Rotary took the lead in eradicating polio.
Right.
And who would have known that we were going to be able to say in our lifetime, it's gone. And it's just a few cases a year. But yet, when you tie it to the World Health Organization, Rotary isn't the organization that gets full credit.
Right.
Again, we didn't sell ourselves. And in some ways, that's actually very exciting, because a lot of energy over the last 4 decades has gone eradicating polio. What's next that we can put that energy to?
Right.
And that's really, really exciting. That,
Yeah.
okay, we've done that. it doesn't mean that we're going to stop doing something that's going to change it in our lifetime.
Yeah, and the impact, I could tell you at the Brattleboro Rotary Club, we've been selling Christmas trees for 46 years, or no, I think over 50 years we've been selling Christmas trees. And it's starting to be a real pain just because the club's getting older and lifting those trees, you can just imagine. But what happened this year was kind of cool in that some of the folks that were buying their trees from us, they were saying, we come here, my parents came here, and now we're coming here to get it, and we got a scholarship from you, and we want to support you. I said, well, that's really a cool thing, because all the money that we raise for Christmas trees goes to scholarships. That's
And that's what one of the things is, the money that we raise, much of it, if not all of it, stays in the local community.
Right.
And we leverage it, and it makes a big difference. And it's amazing that people know that, hey, I'm buying this Christmas tree knowing that money's staying here. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I think it really works out. All right, so let's talk about you. I mean, it's going to seem like a silly question given what you're wearing, but what do you do when you're not assistant district governor? And let me preface this by saying, I think it's great that you're wearing that uniform on this show, because it really shows that Rotarians, we're out there in the world. So, all right. So what do you do when you're not assistant district governor?
Well, I'm not as you can tell, my full-time job, I am the Windham County Sheriff. I'm about to start my 4th term, but I do more. First and foremost, I have a family. And I have grandkids, and if there's a title I'm most proud of, it's being called Papa. Not sheriff, not anything, but being a grandfather is absolutely amazing.
Right.
In the summertime, playing golf and fly fishing, and I'm actually looking for the snow this weekend.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I get to get out and snowshoe.
Okay.
I love being out in the snow in the wintertime. Haven't been able to do much of that. We haven't had much snow.
Right.
So, I have a lot of different interests and a lot of working on. I'm towards the tail end of a house renovation, so I stay busy. Keeps me out of trouble.
All right. Well, now it's my understanding that when you signed up to be assistant district governor, you made a 3-year commitment.
Yes.
Okay. So, so now you finished year 1.
We're coming up on the end of year 1.
Coming up on year 1, so then there'll be 2, then there'll be 3. What happens to you after year 3?
I don't know yet. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'll probably still stay involved at the district level. I do sit on a couple other committees there. I've been the club president twice. I think that's a very important position for Rotarian. I don't know what's next. Let me get through year 2, and I'll let you know what's going to happen after year 3.
But wait, so while you're assistant district governor, you're still involved in your local club as well?
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, that's a lot. That's really fantastic. All right, so Keith, the last question, this is a real tough one, is what's the best part for you of being assistant district governor?
Going around to the other clubs and seeing how they operate. And I love sitting with other clubs. Every club operates differently, and they all have different passions and things that excite them. How they run their meetings is different. I love that. And I get a chance to sit with Rotarians I wouldn't normally sit with and have a meal with them and learn about them. And it's and knowing that they're changing things. Your club supporting the Native American population, and when you talk about it and your club talks about it, it's almost, you can see the pride in it, but you also see there's more that we can do. They never stop. Mm-hmm. They don't say, well, we accomplished that. It's what can we do next? How do we make it even better? And that's, all the clubs are like that.
And you see that, in your club in Bellows Falls, you got, X number of folks, and you're getting together every week, and then you get to multiply it out by going to the, and we're all in it for the same good, to service above self. Well, Assistant District Governor Keith Clark, thank you for coming on the show.
You're very welcome.
I want to give a shout out to Brattleboro Sunrise Rotary Club member Keith Yeager for doing all the magic behind the cameras. Thanks also to BCTV for recognizing us as Nonprofit Member of the Year. We're very honored to receive that award. And also a special thanks to Brian Bashaw, who has just been so helpful in bringing this show to you. If you have any questions, concerns, or even ideas for future shows, you can send them to info@BrattleboroRotaryClub.org, info@BrattleboroRotaryClub.org. I'm Marty Cohn. Thanks for watching.